Anita, for more on the fate of Biden's spending bill in the Senate, we're joined by Republican Senator from Tennessee, Bill Hagerty. He's also on the Senate Appropriations and Banking, Housing, and Urban Affairs Committee. Senator Hagerty, thank you for taking time on this Saturday before Thanksgiving. We're going to talk about the fact people are going to pay a lot more for that turkey. But I want to get your immediate reaction to your colleague, Brad Schneider, Democrat Congressman there, talking just at the very end about the gap. The CBO says this will add to the deficit, yet the administration says pay no attention to that because the IRS will go after people to make up that difference. What's your reaction?
I think America's had enough of the government invading their lives. You know, the Biden administration wants to have access to every American's bank account. You know, first it was $600, now I've heard it's up to $10,000, but still they're going to get access to every bank account. Then they're going to sick the IRS on us. They're going to increase the IRS's budget eightfold and attack Americans. We're going to be under constant audit. That's the Democrat way to pay for this. But you see this right on the back of the so-called infrastructure bill that was over $250 billion short. You had the shortfall that just came up yesterday on this Build Back Better plan. That's over $600 billion short. That's falling right on the shoulders of our children and our grandchildren. This is not acceptable under any circumstance.
And Senator, let's talk about the actual difference with the CBO. The administration simply says that in the long run, never mind the pain the Americans are feeling right now, but in the long run, this overall will reduce the deficit, be better, lower costs for Americans. Your reaction to that, and how do you see it?
My reaction is that's complete bunk. This plan is designed to increase government dependency here in America, to take away our liberties and put people in the hands of the government from cradle to grave. It's going to force more jobs overseas. It's going to shrink the economy. Certainly, we've seen the impact on inflation. I mean, right here in Tennessee, a turkey costs 24% more today than it did last year. That's the most pernicious tax of all on Americans. What we've seen is real wages go down for Americans. We're in a lot of pain right now, and the last thing we need to do is federalize more. In fact, I had a nominee in front of me in the banking committee just this week. She's up to be the comptroller of the currency. That's the person responsible for the whole payment system, the banking system in America. What does she want to do? She wants the federal government to take over our checking accounts, our savings accounts. My wife laughed and said, this is going to be like going to the DMV when you try to go to get your local banking taken care of. Everyone knows when the government takes control of something, the costs go up, the efficiency goes down. This is not what we need, and certainly not at a time when we've got inflation spiraling through the roof.
Now, do all of your Republican colleagues in the Senate feel that way? This is all about the math, as our Capitol Hill correspondent Chad Pergram always schools us. Is there any chance that any Republican could support this? And needing only one Democrat to vote against it, how do you see things playing out?
There is not a chance that a Republican would step up and agree to something like this. America doesn't need socialism. We certainly don't need this big government socialism. And I think what we hear when we go home to our states is a lot of pain right now in America. People are suffering with inflation. People are embarrassed with what's happened in Afghanistan. There's a massive national security crisis at our southern border. The American public does not want to hand over the economy to the government. And I hope that some of my colleagues on the Democrat side will see and hear that same message.
From what you're hearing behind the scenes, Senator Manchin, Senator Sinema, any chance that they're leaning in that direction?
I think there's a very good chance that could happen. I mean, they're from states that are just like mine, where people are hurting. You know, I can't imagine that in Senator Manchin's state, he likes the aspects of this program that would absolutely kill the fossil fuel industry. I mean, we've seen what's happened with gas prices here in America. People commute in Tennessee. They do in West Virginia and Arizona as well. This is painful to Americans, and I don't think they're gonna hear anything different than I'm hearing right now. I hope that one or more of them will step up and say no more.
It will be interesting to see how it all plays out. Senator Bill Hagerty, have a happy Thanksgiving. Thanks for taking time today.
Same to you. Thanks so much.
And tomorrow